Hey guys, welcome back to the United Star, and we again have Rishabh, one of our subscribers, who's back with us to talk about the youth because we've been seeing how Ole has broken the record that for the first time since 1958 we have had more than eight of our academy players come into the side and play a game and have a debut season. So Rishabh, let's go through the players that we all know about. Let's start with the likes of Chong. There's a lot going about, a lot being said about the transfer rumors. First, it was that maybe he'll be involved in the Sancho deal. Now it's being said that he's going to the Germany side. Warner, what is it?
Werder Bremen.
Werder Bremen. So, what's your take on Chong as a player? We saw him play in a defensive role as well in the Europa League. So, let us know what you think about Chong.
Yeah, so Chong, according to me, he's a great player. He's got good dribbling skills. Obviously, he's got decent pace, and his cameo against Leicester earlier, in the 1-0 win. That was when United fans, were really taking to him, and they were like, he should get more chances. But then against Astana, not Astana, I think. Yeah, I think it was Astana, the game which we lost. Just before Astana's second goal, Tai Chong missed a sitter, and from there on, he's been in and out of the side. The main problem with Tai Chong, I think, is the Premier League is a very physical league, and all the defenders are strong and robust. And I think when where he has the pace and everything going for him, except for that physicality, and he's failed to build that up. You see Greenwood post lockdown. There were a lot of pictures being circulated of how Greenwood has bulked up and become stronger, and we could see how that impacted his performance in these games, post lockdown, where he was a key player for our team. So I think Chong needs to build that up. And if the rumors are true about going to Werder Bremen, of course, Werder Bremen's, I think the chairman has confirmed that he is interested in bringing Tai Chong. And Germany is not that physical of a league, and I think if he gets regular game time over there, it'll be crucial for him to develop.
I completely agree with you, Rishabh. In fact, I think there was this period where a lot of fans believed that Ole did not rate Chong anymore. There was the full situation of, will he sign a new contract? Him and Angel Gomez were going about whether they're going to stick around in the club. And definitely, we've seen how Germany has helped Sancho, right? Another English
Yeah.
player. So there's no reason why Chong cannot do well in Germany and maybe come back and secure maybe a squad player's position at United. But two players that have been maybe they've missed their chances because of injury, but two players that have been hyped to reach the levels of what Greenwood have are Garner and Levitt in the center midfield position. They've been compared with the likes of Carrick, Keane, Scholesy. What's your thoughts on those two players?
But James Garner, he's been the one who's featured more. So I think he's a great player. And, he's been fantastic for our under 23 sides, getting plenty of goals and assists. And, in the beginning when he was just breaking into the team, he was more of that defensive midfielder. And, United need a defensive midfielder as of right now. Matic is getting old, and we need that proper defensive midfielder. And a lot of fans were tipping him for that role, but I think James Garner is. I think his preferred position and his better position will be slightly further up the pitch, where he can score goals, get assists, and then also track back, occasionally. I think that is the role for him. And I think Ole's made a bad decision with Jimmy Garner, because he could have sent him out on loan in January, and he didn't, because we were facing injury problems at the time, and McTominay was out and Pogba was out, and so he decided to keep him, but he hasn't played a game since. So I think he should have gone out on loan and got the experience.
I completely agree when you're talking about James Garner. In fact, there are a lot of rumors going around that we are going to loan him for next season. We'll be either sending him to either Sheffield Wednesday or Swansea, which just goes to show that we are promoting our youth because I think the championship is one of the hardest leagues there is. and for them to develop there would be great. But how about you touch upon Dylan Levitt as well? There's been a lot being spoken about him along with James Garner. Do you see both of them grabbing their opportunity, or only one of them making it through?
Dylan Levitt also made his debut against Dylan made his debut against Astana, where a lot of United players featured. And before he made his debut, Ryan Giggs obviously rates him very highly, and he's been including him in all of the Welsh squads. So I think that he can make it, but it's again those crucial decisions of when he goes out on loan, and how he comes back and what's his mentality. I think. And Ole, obviously, whether or not he's giving him the chances to prove himself, I think it's going to depend on that. I think James Gunn is going to make it, but I don't think he's going to be that starter for us. I think he's going to be that squad player. Kind of what the role that Darren Fletcher played, something like that.
Something similar to what Scott McTominay is playing right now, just big punt
Yeah, yeah.
going out. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But there are two other players. I mean, we're filled with academy players, right? We're known for that. But two players that have been involved with the senior team since lockdown. We saw Teden Mengi coming on and making his first professional debut at United, and Ethan Laird, who's been set to be a mix of Trent Alexander-Arnold up front and Gary Neville at the back. So, what's your take on Ethan Laird coming and maybe pressurizing the likes of, Wan Bissaka and Mengi coming on and pressurizing Lindelof? Because there are a lot of players that think that maybe we need to promote the likes of Tuanzebe and Mengi rather than going out and buying a centre back.
Yeah, so Ethan Laird, what impressed me really about him against Astana, that was also the game where he also made his debut. So what really impressed me was, the confidence that he had on the ball. He was not shy to make that dribble. We saw yesterday when Mengi came in. Obviously, he's a centre back and he was being played out at full back. So, he was going for that safety first approach where he was not looking to take the ball further up the pitch, but he was just making those good passes and straight into the feet of the players and not messing them up. But Ethan Laird has got tons of confidence in my opinion. And against Astana, we saw his attacking play, and I was really impressed by it. And I think there's a lot to build that up, build on that. And Wan Bissaka's attacking has been questionable always, and he's been improving. But if Fosu Mensah, according to me, is not. He's a great player. I mean, decent player for us to be a squad player, but to push Wan Bissaka, he doesn't have the caliber. So I think if Ethan Laird is promoted, and he gets his chances and he shows his attacking and defensive abilities, Wan Bissaka will be pushed to, improve his own attacking play and, you know, uh, s- put his stamp on the side and keep his place.
Yeah, I think that's key, right? We saw how Williams pushed Shaw this season. Maybe Ethan Laird could push Wan Bissaka when it comes to the attacking front. But you did mention how Mengi came on for Fosu Menza in the 80th minute last night. Do you see Mengi, building a career at United, or do you see the injuries that he's had having an impact on his career, the way Tuanzebe's career has, been withheld because of that? Because there are certain players that who've been doing spectacular. We remember Bernard, who conceded that own goal against Astana, and he's just gone out of the picture, and Mengi has come instead. So how do you see Mengi's career floating at United?
When Deshaun Bernard actually, when he started versus Astana, I was quite skeptical and I wanted Mengi to have played instead. But you know what? The factor that Ole would have taken into consideration was that Mengi was, quite young, only 17 at the time. So maybe it was not the right time for him to make his debut. And I really hope that Mengi gets over his injury woes, because we've been talking about everybody, all the football pundits, everybody's been saying Harry Maguire. He's a great defender on the ball, great passing, but no pace. He needs a guy who can cover. And somebody with extraordinary pace. And Teden Mengi has got bags of pace, and Tuanzebe as well. But I think Teden Mengi is faster than him, and I think that Teden Mengi, if he can stay away, Tuanzebe is already his this season, was supposed to be his breakthrough season, and it's already been ruined by injury. So I hope that either one of them, or rather both of them, get over their injury problems and find their best form and become key players to United.
I completely agree. I mean, I would love to see a partnership of Tuanzebe and Mengi growing at United for the future with one of them as our captain. But another and one of the last players that I would like to talk about is Hannibal Mejbri. He's been brilliant when it comes to the lower level. He's been, they've said that maybe if Garner and Levitt go out on loan, he would be replacing their spot for training with the United side next season. What's your take on him playing that CAM position or playing the holding position and transitioning the play from one side to another?
Yeah, so Hannibal has been a player that's really caught my eye, and we signed him from Monaco for almost around 10 million pounds. I mean euros, sorry, my bad. Almost 10 million euros, just big money for a player who was 16 years old at the time. And I've seen his videos, and he's built. He's not very built, and his frame is quite lanky, and he looks weak. But then if you see the videos that have been circulating, the United fans going crazy about Hannibal, and he has got great strength for what his physique is. I saw one of the videos where he just pushes a Newcastle player away shoulder to shoulder, and that player is like twice his size, in terms of muscle, build. So if he's got the physique, if he's got the strength for the Premier League, I think he can be a great backup for Bruno and then replace Bruno, when Bruno's time has come. So I think he's going to be a big player for United if he can continue on the path he's going right now.
I think you summed it up brilliantly when we've spoken about these 6 to 7 players. But before I leave it open to you to mention any other players out there, I just want to know, in your opinion, we saw a breakout season for Williams and Greenwood this season. Who do you think could replicate that in the upcoming season? If you had to pick 2 players from the crop that we've discussed, who do you
Two
think
players.
would pick it? Yeah.
Okay, so two players from the current crop, I think I would pick for sure Ethan Laird and Terran Mengi,
That's
for sure.
great because those are the positions that we need reinforcement in, right? People are talking about the center back, about left back. Mengi can play on the wings when it comes to a wing back position, and so can Ethan Laird. So, any other player that you would like to inform us, our viewers about?
One player who's been, he's quite young, so he's not really into the scene, but he's recently signed his contract on July 1st to get into the under 18 side now, Shola Shoretire. So he's the youngest ever player to make his debut in the UEFA Youth Champions League, at the age of just 14 and 300 odd days. So I think he's been tagged as an exceptional talent, and I think he can emulate the likes of Greenwood. There's still time obviously on his side, so I really want to see him be a future Manchester United talisman. And also, one of the players from our academy worth mentioning is Max Taylor. His story is a really inspirational one, and he's overcome cancer at at such tender age at 19. Successfully beaten cancer through chemotherapy, and he was on the bench against Astana. He signed a new contract. He's gone out on loan, and I think he can also be a good player if he does his bit right.
I think those are 2 players that even I would have mentioned. But this just goes to show how much United invests in their academy. And like always, the record continues. We have an academy player in each of our starting 11. So, guys, that's about it. That's what we think our academy looks like. We have a great crop coming up. We would like to see a few of them go out on loan. Rishabh and I both agree that Ethan Laird and Tieran Mengi could be the next crop to break through next season. So do let us know who you think is is someone that we may be missing out from the academy, and do check out Rishabh and his great content. Or he's just fabulous when it comes to Manchester United news. But that's about it, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.